2026 started, and the art market didn't just keep pace, it changed everything. A small group of artists are dominating everything. Record-breaking auction sales, major museum takeovers, and a real shift in what counts as culturally important right now. Before we get into who is top, let's clear up one phrase we hear a lot in this video: blue chip art. Strip away the gallery talk, and it simply means work that is a safe bet financially, made by someone with a long track record of major exhibitions and strong auction sales. Think of it as investing in an established company instead of a startup is the clearest sign of market trust an artist can have. With that said, the names we are covering today either already holds that status or they are mid-career artists pushing so hard to get there. Some are building entire immersive rooms that change how you experience space. Others are painting bold new takes on history itself. We'll look at the museums backing these sudden jumps in auction prices and the creative output that has put these artists at the top of the art world right now. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll know who is shaping the contemporary art world in 2026. Let's get into the video. Chiharu Shiota. Imagine walking into a room and getting tangled in thousands of threads, like you stepped inside someone's nightmare or their memory. That's a Chiharu Shiota's installation. She's famous for weaving huge webs of red, black, and white yarn across entire gallery spaces and hiding everyday objects inside them: old keys, worn dresses, even small boats. It sounds simple, but standing inside one of these webs feels overwhelming, like you've wandered into someone's subconscious. Shiota builds these pieces around big, heavy feelings: memory, trauma, connection, loss. And in 2026, people can't get enough of it. Museums and collectors are both chasing her work. Maybe that's because in a disconnected world, her tangled threads remind us how connected we still are. Either way, Shiota proves that thread and string can carry as much emotional weight as any painting. Derrick Adams. Picture a group of friends floating in a pool on a hot afternoon, laughing, doing absolutely nothing important. That small ordinary moment is exactly what Derrick Adams wants you to see. While so much art focuses on pain and struggle, Adams paints black joy instead. His portraits are bold, colorful, and built from simple shapes, almost like collages come to life. There is something quietly powerful about it. He's saying that rest and happiness are worth painting too, not just hardship. That idea has caught fire. Adams' work is now sitting in major museums and collectors can't stop talking about him. In 2026, as people search for art that feels hopeful instead of heavy, Adams delivers exactly that. He's proof that color and comfort can be just as radical as protest. Henry Taylor. Henry Taylor doesn't wait for the right subject. He'll paint his neighbor, his cousin, a stranger sleeping on the streets, or a civil rights icon, all with the same loose, urgent brushstrokes. Nothing about his work feels stiff or overly polished, and that's the whole point. His paintings look like they were made fast, almost like he had to get a feeling down before it disappeared. But underneath that rawness is real history, the everyday reality of Black American life, told honestly and without filters. After a string of huge retrospectives, Taylor's reputation has only grown. Auction houses are seeing bidding wars over his big canvases, and younger painters keep pointing to him as a major influence. In 2026, he's less an emerging artist and more a living legend, someone who found grandeur in ordinary people simply by looking at them closely. Olafur Eliasson. What if art wasn't something you looked at, but something you actually felt on your skin? That's the idea behind Olafur Eliasson's work. He builds massive installations out of fog, light, water, and even chunks of melting glacier ice, turning museum halls into strange, immersive environments. Walk into one of his shows and you might find yourself standing in a room filled with colored mist, unsure where the walls even are. As climate change becomes impossible to ignore, Eliasson's nature-driven pieces feel more urgent than ever in 2026. His studio works almost like a science lab, mixing art with real environmental research. Museums and cities keep commissioning his large public projects because they do something rare. They make people stop, feel small, and actually think about their place on this planet. That's not just art, that's an experience. Maurizio Cattelan. A banana taped to a wall, a solid gold toilet. If you've laughed or rolled your eyes at either of those, you already know Maurizio Cattelan. He's the art world's biggest troublemaker, using jokes and shock value to poke fun at everything from wealth to religion to the art market itself. But underneath that humor, there's something sharper going on. His hyper-realistic sculptures of dictators, taxi-determined animals, and even himself all circle back to serious ideas like death, power, and control. That mix of funny and unsettling is exactly why people can't stop talking about him. In 2026, his pieces still spark viral arguments online, and collectors pay enormous sums to own his rare works. Cattelan's whole career proves something simple. Art doesn't need to be serious to make you think. Sometimes a joke lands harder than a lecture. Anselm Kiefer. Anselm Kiefer doesn't paint pretty pictures, he builds ruins. Using materials like lead, straw, ash, and concrete, he creates massive, rough textured works that look like they've survived a war, which in a way they have. His art constantly circles back to history's darkest chapters, especially World War II, forcing viewers to sit with memory instead of looking away from it. These aren't small paintings you glance at, they are towering pieces that demand huge rooms and real time to absorb. In 2026, with global tension rising, Kiefer's work feels less like history and more like a warning. Despite having a decades-long career already, collectors and major institutions still chase his pieces hard. He remains one of the most respected names in serious art, someone who turns broken, ordinary materials into something close to poetry. Arsham. Daniel Arsham was born in 1980 and works out of New York. He's one of the most recognizable names in contemporary art, known for blending fine art with fashion and pop culture. His work centers on one idea he calls fictional archaeology. Instead of showing the world as it looks today, Arsham imagines it 1,000 years from now, as if archaeologists dug up our everyday objects and found them turned to stone. To do this, he makes exact life-sized copies of recognizable items, old cameras, marble busts, Game Boys, sport cars. But he doesn't use plaster like a normal sculptor would. He builds them out of natural materials instead, things like volcanic ash, sand, selenite, and amethyst. Once the cast is finished, he breaks it open, so crystal clusters are left exposed inside, as if they grew there naturally over centuries. The effect makes ordinary objects look like they've been sitting underground for 1,000 years. It's a simple way of showing that everything we make today, no matter how modern it feels, will end up as old stuff buried underground. Bisa Butler. Bisa Butler was born in 1973 and raised in New Jersey. She's become known across the contemporary art world for turning quilting, usually seen as a craft, into large-scale fine art. She has a BFA from Howard University and an MA from Montclair State. Her main focus is taking old archival photographs of African Americans, often people whose names were never recorded, and turning them into big, colorful portraits. Instead of paint, she works entirely in fabric. She layers African wax, kente cloth, velvet, and silk to build up detailed portraits piece by piece. Every fabric she picks is deliberate, since the subject often says something about the subject's background, heritage, or place in society. To create the fine details, she uses a technique called free motion quilting, guiding a sewing machine the way a painter would guide a brush. This lets her build highlights, shadows, and texture across the fabric. The end result is a portrait that looks vivid and full of presence, even though the original photographs may have faded, damaged, or almost forgotten.